Yo, yo, yo. Y'all already know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We back again. We haven't did it in a while. I'm a red cup boy. I got like 3 red cups over here. Shout out to Tullamore dude. We taking the shot like we always do. You know what I mean? Yo, we going this shot right. Yo, this shot, word. This shot right here. This shot right here is going out to my Knicks and Giants
right
fans.
here, dog?
Straight up, Knicks and Giants talk. We haven't talked these guys in a couple of weeks, especially the Giants, and it's coming up. Y'all already know August is gonna be there soon. Y'all see, I'm wearing the LT jersey. Y'all feel me? Yo, let's do this for the New York Giants and Knicks fans. Let's get it because we're gonna have a fun couple of months until everything gets on and popping. Salute.
Shout out to all the shark biters out there. You know who you are. Yo, I got my little cheers shot glass. Word. Wouldn't you like to get away? I need to get away.
Norm.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk show. We are the voice of the streets. Allow me to reintroduce myself. It's your brother Cash. And you already know who to do with all the giant shit on is. That's my brother Q. Q.U. Q. What's good, my guy? What's going on?
Chilling, feeling good, feeling great, man.
You feeling great? I'm feeling great too, man. I'm feeling great too. I'm blessed, highly favored, like Ryan Garcia should say. You know what I'm saying? We've been. I don't know if we've been. How long? When was the last time we was on? Like maybe 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks? Nah, it can't be 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, we took a little hiatus after the season was over, man, because a couple of reasons. One, it's a slow time of the year. We don't really talk too much baseball on here. You know, even though we talk New York sports, we don't talk a lot of New York baseball, even though the Mets are starting to do their thing. Yankees slowing down a little bit, but not too much. But I don't want to get too much into that. But we took a little break after a grueling, mentally, just physically for the Knicks and grueling and mentally for us as fans, their playoff run. You know, we needed a little break because we went hard last year. Pause. And you know, it's been slow in Giants land other than, you know, OTAs and mini camps, which we're going to talk about today. One thing about me, I don't like to really jump into, you know, when the Giants go to mini camp or the OTAs or something happens with the Knicks, you have 1,000 podcasts reporting on it, 1,000, you know, news channels reporting on it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to just be caught up, you know, lost in the sauce with all these other guys. So sometimes we're going to step back. We're going to really assess the situation as we see it with our perspective, and then we're going to come and chop it up. Again, we're no newscasters. We're no like media pundits. We're just a couple of guys who like to drink and talk New York sports.
Word.
And we appreciate all the love you guys give us. And yeah, man. So, you know, we back in business. We definitely back in business. And like I said, it is a slow part of the season. You know, summertime is historically slow, but there are some things going on, and we do need to address them. Right?
Word up.
Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? Let's talk. You want to talk Giants first?
Yeah, let's talk Giants, man.
Let's talk a little Giants, man. Listen, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to give me.
I know me and you've been going back and forth, and I wish we could have recorded that conversation.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it was on some real first take shit. But in a perfect world, right? That's going to be the theme of the show. In a perfect world, what do the Giants look like to you next year?
In a perfect world, if everything works out,
yeah.
Oh man, then I would just reiterate what you said. I can say that they're gonna win 10, 11 games. You know, and the reason
I say 11 games.
You said about 10. Pushing
on the high side. I said between 7 and 10.
You definitely didn't say 7, bro.
Yeah, I definitely did. I said between 7 and 10. I said 7 and 10.
You was really hyping that 10.
I'm still hyped, but I definitely didn't say. I didn't say beyond 10. That's a fact. I definitely
no, but let's keep it a buck. In a perfect world, we ran down the schedule and we could do it again. But in a perfect world, you know, now we have Dable calling the plays. Let's see what Daniel Jones comes back looking like, because now, you know, they said he's already ready. You know, now they got, you know, they already know that this is his year. If he doesn't do what he needs to do this year, he's gonna lose his job. And I'm hoping that in a perfect world he comes out straight balling. We got Malik Nabers, we got Jalen Hyatt, we got Banks, we got we got Thibodeau, we got Singletary, we lost Saquon, whatever. But in a perfect world, I could see them winning 11 games. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of the games that we did lose last year, we were still in the running. Like we lost a bunch of games by a field goal or one touchdown, and we couldn't even really score. And we had quarterbacks that really couldn't do much, but we still always was in every game, and it's almost like that Giants feeling, that Knicks feeling, like that Knicks, anything might happen. Anything and any time might always happen. And this Giant team could do it for you. And I feel like, like that's where we're heading. And we need it to happen. Like the Giants have been bad for some time. They've been into the playoffs, twice in the last 6 years or some shit like that. We need something to happen already. I need to see a 10-11, a double-digit Giant team, because we haven't had it in some time. And you got me on the high road, man. I want to see it. I want to see it happen.
I'm a glass half full guy, so we're gonna run down the schedule in a little bit. But I tend to agree with you, man. I'm optimistic. I'm cautious. Let me say this: I'm cautiously optimistic, but I am optimistic. What do we win? How many games we win last year? 6. What did we win last year? 6, 7.
I think it was 6 or 7. Yeah.
All right, so let's 6 games. I'll look it up in a second, but let's say 6 games. With all the moves we made this off season. I'm not saying Super Bowl or bust, but I'm saying
they won 6. They were 6 and 11.
They 6 and 11. We can't get 3 more wins on the low side, 4 to 5 more on the high side. That's a lot to ask to go from 6 to 11. But I still think it's doable, man. I think and we're gonna get in depth in a minute, but I think within this offense, you're going to see some major improvements. Couple of reasons. One, Brian Dable now calling the plays, right? We've been waiting for this. He's taking over the thing from Mike Kafka. They said that he was kind of meddling in it last year. You know what I'm saying? They had their little issues, right? Yeah. But this year, he's going to call the plays. You saw what he did when he called the plays up in Buffalo. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, Gabe Davis. They had, it was an electric offense. I think it hasn't been the same since he's left there, to be totally honest. I know personnel has changed. You know what I mean? I get all that, and him and Dable left, but that's kind of what he does. He's supposedly a quarterback whisperer. Well, do me a favor, whisper into the ears of Daniel Jones, my brother, because we need him to get busy. You feel what I'm saying? Second of all, so I like that, and I'm intrigued to see where that goes. If it is what we think it is, right? Then that's a plus, right? Now you got Shane Bowen. Replaces Wink Martindale. Everyone knows about the tumultuous and high tense relationship with Dable. It's well documented, and we're going to talk about Hard Knock Life in a few. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if we're going to see any of that because it was some filming from last season, but we all know what happened with Dable and Wink. We're not going to get into that. You know what I'm saying? But Shane Bowen, a guy I like, comes over from the Titans. Very different style than than Wink. Wink is no risk it, no biscuit. He's the riverboat run on defense. You know what I'm saying? Bring the house in for blitzes, leave the corners on islands. Bring bring the kitchen sink and all that. So that's going to be different. That put a lot of pressure on Deonte Banks. We're going to see a lot more zone scheming this year, I would think. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to have Deonte Banks, a rookie corner on the island. We losing Adoree Jackson. We bring in a couple other guys. We'll get to the cornerback room in a minute. That's another thing. I like Shane Bowen. Don't get me wrong. I like Wink. I like that aggressive style. I like going after the QB. His very complex scheme Wink ran. But I'm not mad at Shane Bowen. We'll see. With this personnel, I think it might work. Mike Kafka, offensive coordinator, bland at times, right? Vanilla. You know what I'm saying? I think that's part of the reason why Dable decided to call the plays. Can't all be mad at Mike Kafka. He didn't have the big-time playmakers on offense. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jones still hasn't proven to us. He had a subpar year 2 years ago, and everyone jumped out the window, including me. I think he had like 15 touchdowns, and I forget whatever. I got to look it up, whatever the yardage was. He had 700 yards in the ground. Everyone's calling up Vanilla Vic, and everyone's crowning him a top 10 QB in the NFC this year, including me. I'm not even going to sit here and cap. You feel what I'm saying? Including
No,
me.
yeah.
He got me. Greg Jennings was like, he's the top 5 quarterback in the NFC. And I was on board with that because we're so thirsty to win and we're so thirsty for hype. And sometimes we attach hyperbole to certain players because of our fandom. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be objective when you're a fan. That's the beauty of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's some objectivity in what we do. So that's as far as we're talking about Brian Dable. Daniel Jones, right? Can this be the last year of the Daniel Jones? Well, this is the last year of the Daniel Jones evaluation. We know what the contract looks like. We know how the contract is structured, right? So we know that they have an out. The quagmire we're going to be in is, and this is, are we going to be bad enough to get a new QB, right, in next year's draft? We can't be like middle of the road and get a really good QB as you've seen this year. Are we going to be that bad, or are we going to be middle of the road? And if we're middle of the road, that's fine. We'll have to figure something out in free agency, which I don't know, maybe a Dak Prescott. I doubt that. I think the Cowboys are going to take care of him. We'll look at the quarterback free agent landscape. But then are we going to be, if we're really good, that's a good problem to have. Yeah. But then there's that fool's gold. Does Daniel Jones throw for 24 touchdowns and 9 interceptions and gives you 600 to 700 yards on the ground, and we win 12 games? Are we signing him? I mean, those are still pedestrian numbers for a quarterback. So we don't know. Now, you mentioned Malik Nabers, right?
He has to go out the box. Like if he throws for like fucking somewhere like on the upside of like over 4,000 yards, you know what I mean? And then that's gonna be like, all right, hold on. Yeah, like if he does that, then but he has to knock it out the park. Like he has to prove to us that, yo, I really can do this. Like I had some shitty luck. I had, whatever I had to deal with, I dealt with. I didn't have he can't blame anything no more. We know he has the weapons now. And if he can't do what he needs to do, we got to point the finger somewhere.
He has some weapons. He has a decent amount of weapons. He has, I believe, when you mentioned Malik Nabers, so let's get into the Malik Nabers shit. Go back and look at all of our podcasts before the draft, even into last season. We were advocating Malik Nabers. We were talking about old Dazoon, and pretty much Malik Nabers, and we were like, old Dunze, whatever, however you say his name. But we were like, yo, Malik. We were watching film on him, and we knew Malik Nabers is dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Dynamic LSU product. We all know. Seems like LSU receivers get busy. Last LSU 1,000-yard receiver we had was Odell, right? That's the last time. That was like what, 6-7 years ago. The last time we had 1,000-yard receiver. That's crazy. Slayton has come up, 700. Wandell's in the 700s. We haven't had a guy, that could just bust plays open. You know what I mean? He could be in the slot, could run every route on the route tree, take the top off the defense. We thought Jalen Hyatt was that guy this year. I still think Jalen Hyatt is that guy this year. I think Darius Slayton, because I don't think we didn't re-up with Slayton this year. So he has another year's left on his contract. I like Darius Slayton. I don't think I think Darius Slayton's good. You know what I mean? Is he super dynamic? Not really, but I think he's definitely a good number 2. He's a decent number 2 wide receiver. I think he'll be the number 2 wide receiver, but I think during the year you'll start to see Jalen Hyatt start to grow into that role. And I think by next year, he'll definitely be the number 2 receiver and possibly even a 1A receiver. But back to Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers dynamic. You see him in OTAs and minicamp catching passes with one hand. You see Steve Smith, legendary wide receiver, Steve Smith, Hall of Fame wide receiver, out there working with him. That's amazing. Him and Jalen Hyatt. You see Deontay Banks and Malik Nabers going one-on-one in practice, reminiscent of when Pac-Man Jones was in Dallas and T.O. was there. I remember I think it was a Hard Knock. You used to see them go at each other. Yeah. That's great shit. That's great TV, man. That's great theater. In terms of Deontay Banks, man, and this is I'm not saying anything new, but you're looking at potentially a top. If everything goes away, we think it's gonna go. If and all it all seems to point to that. If they don't fuck this up, which I don't think they will, he can be a top 3 to top 5 wide receiver in the league. You see Justin Jefferson just broke the fucking bank open. You know what I'm saying? We get a guy like that who puts up Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs type numbers.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ross
I mean?
Brown, Tyreek Hill. You know the usual suspects. You
Word.
see a guy who gets numbers like that, and we have him on a fucking rookie deal, similar to the deal we had Saquon on, kind of reminiscent of Saquon, except Saquon got hurt. If we get him on that deal, that's a steal. You know what? That's money we can allocate to something else. So look forward to Malik Nabers. I'm super excited. The question is, can Daniel Jones get the ball to Malik Nabers? I think so. We're going to see. I always thought Daniel Jones struggled to get the ball downfield, vision-wise, right, with his reads and his progressions and everything. We'll see if Dable can spice that up, loosen some things up for him, and do that. Same thing with Jalen Hyatt. Same thing with Darius Slayton. Same thing with Wanda Robinson. I heard Wanda Robinson is looking crazy in OTAs and minicamp, taking slants to the house. They say he looks strong. He looks spry. He looks quick. That's really great. You got Wanda Robinson. Let me look at the rest of the receiver room. We picked up Isaiah McKenzie. I'm okay with that. Allen Robinson. I'm not sure why they did it. I guess that's just for depth.
I think
get
at that
Bryce
point,
Ford
that's
Wheaton,
just
another depth guy.
Yeah.
I don't see too much out of Bryce Ford Wheaton,
Yeah.
but I like the wide receiver. My bad. Hold on. I like the wide receiver
No,
room. I'm excited about the wide receiver room, and I think that's going to be one of the differences in the Giants' offense this year. Go ahead, man.
No, yeah, no, and I agree, and I think what another name that we need to watch out for is Theo Johnson, man. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. That and now that Darren Waller retired, I think he might just step up, and I know we still have Bellinger, but from what I'm hearing with Theo Johnson, man, like that he could be that next tight end that we need. Like that just opens everything up, and the Giants always typically have a decent tight end, and we need it. We haven't really had it in some years now, and that opens the whole playbook now, because when you have a tight end that's just going to be out there that could go and grab shit, like that's a gift in disguise, and that's what we need to help Malik Nabers and Jalen Hyatt and Wandale Robinson and Darius Slayton if he even chooses to come back. So I think he's holding out because he doesn't want to sign another contract.
He'll be back. He'll be back. This is probably his last year. No, but I agree. Theo Johnson, like we don't know what Theo Johnson is all the way, because again, mini camp is mini camp and OTA 7-on-7, 11-on-11, no real pads. We won't really start to really get a good grasp on everybody. Honestly, everyone looks great running around in shorts and throwing passes in shorts. Yeah. I look good. I go out there right now and throw a fucking pass or catch a pass. You know what I'm saying? But I'm being facetious, but. We'll know more about Theo Johnson, but yes, I am hearing very good things about Theo Johnson.
Like, let me ask you a question. Comment that comment that that briefly Malik Nabers made, right? Talking about the quarterback. Jones? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think is that going to benefit and show in how Daniel Jones plays this year, or you think it's too much pressure for him to, with everything else, knowing that his job's on the line and everything else, or he's just gonna be like, you know what, I need to get the ball out. I gotta throw that shit down the field and fuck it. Hopefully it doesn't get intercepted, because we need somebody who could take some risks, just like Eli Manning. Eli Manning will always go down. I don't care how many bad seasons he had. He won us 2 chips. Obviously we had some additional help, but Eli Manning knew what it was. That pressure shit was like nothing for him. He would go down there and take the chances. You think those comments is gonna show and actually motivate him to play better this year? You think that's gonna help him?
No, not at all. I don't think he's wired like that. I don't think he ticks like that. I think he's like a even keel kind of guy. You never see Daniel Jones get too high, right? You never really see him get too low. Tom Brady used to get all fired up, you know what I mean? Get all emotional, bark on his receivers, bark on his tight ends, bark on the offensive line, and different quarterbacks are emotional, you know what I mean? You never really see Daniel Jones like that. But in terms of his progress, you got Andrew Thomas back, right? Good left tackle. Obviously we know the upgrades that we made. Jermaine Illuminor, John Michael Schmitz is back again. John Runyon. We'll see with Evan Neal. This is another Evan Neal and Daniel Jones. kind of in the same boat. This is probably the last evaluation for him at right tackle. You know what I'm saying? You got good guys. Izuru's back. Joshua Miles, Stinney. If Brian Rosillo can get that offensive line, we brought in a bunch of guys. We have some depth. We have some really good pieces. If Rosillo, who I think is a really good offensive line coach, if he can protect Jones along with Dable calling the right plays to fit this scheme, right? Along with the weapons that they have, these two dynamic receivers that can absolutely take the top off the defense. You know, Jalen Hyde, I was looking at him. He's gotten a lot stronger. You know, getting bumped off the line of scrimmage, he's looking stronger. Dealing with some of these physical corners in the league, he looks stronger. Like I said with Malik Nabers, you mentioned Theo Johnson. If he can, if all, like we said, in a perfect football world, if everything comes together, if Priscilla gets the line right, Dable's calling the plays right, Daniel Jones is utilizing these weapons. It's not like Daniel Jones doesn't have talent. We know he works his ass off. No one's ever questioned his work ethic. They say he's the first guy in the building, the last guy to leave every day. That's never been questioned. The question is, can he get it done? And you've seen flashes and glimpses all through the years, but he's never quite put it together. So to answer your question in a long-winded way, no, I don't think that affects him. I think he's gonna do what he does, and I think everything else around him in that Giants ecosystem is what is going to affect him, whether good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on the Giants because we gotta get into my New York Knicks. But we gotta talk a little bit about the running back room. This is where me and you really got into it the other day, but this is where you were totally down on the running back room, and I kind of took the glass half full optimistic approach on the running back room. You said you were worried about the room. Obviously, we lost Saquon Barkley, right? I think the Giants are going running back by committee. I think that's the only thing they can do. Devin Singletary, you're not as high on him. I'm not as low on him, right? You know what I'm saying? I think he's a decent back. I think for what this offensive scheme and these plays that Dable and Kafka install, I think he's going to be able to do the job. I think we put too much emphasis throughout the years. The offense ran through Saquon Barkley. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to do that this year. So it's not like we have to get, a Barkley in here or a what's the dude from the 49ers? I'm just drawing a blank right now.
Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey is some super dynamic running back. I think Devin Singletary can move the chains. We got this rookie who I was doing. I'm not really a big college guy. I don't watch a lot of college football, college basketball. When it's time for my guys to draft, I'll do my due diligence and I'll watch some film. I'll watch some, plays on them. I'll watch some game stuff. Tyrone Tracy, man, rookie draft pick. Kind of filling those Saquon Barkley shoes. Now, let's not get crazy. I'm not saying he is a Saquon Barkley. I'm just saying in terms of some of the things we utilize Saquon doing, he can do that. He looks like a dynamic guy. Now, will it translate to the pros? You never know, but he looks like a dynamic guy. He could be a sneak pick, like an underrated sneak pick. Going to catch a lot of passes out the backfield. Me and you were watching film on him. He got hands like a wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? You saw that. He got Tyrone Tracy. I'm kind of my stock is high on it. I mean, I'm gonna buy Tyrone Tracy. Like I said, Devin Singletary, Eric Gray was back. We were like, Eric Gray. But we ain't see his too many snaps in the offense last year. He was, not the offense, in the backfield. He was mostly on special teams, right? So it's gonna be running back by committee. Obviously, Saquon's with the Eagles. He's the enemy now. Your take on the running back room and why you're so down on them. Oh, you there, sir? Oh, he tapped. Q tapped out.
See me?
Come back in. I see you, but I can't hear you. We're gonna try to get Q back. Technical difficulties. Log out and log back in. Anyway. Yeah, man. So I'm not really down on the running back room, man. I think it's sufficient. I think it's sufficient enough to where we are going to be able to do what we need to do and get the job done. So, you know, like I said, Eric Gray, Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary. I think that gets the job done, man. I think that gets the job done. We're trying to get Q back. I don't know what's going on. You know, I don't see you. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh man, there we
Yeah,
go.
you did. But
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
yeah,
did. But look,
yeah. Your thoughts on the running back situation?
I look. I saw the footage on Tyrone Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
I think he definitely has the ability to do a lot of screens, and like if he fits in with the scheme, I think he's gonna do it very well because
Like
we
a
know
Percy Harvin kind of has that Percy Harvin type of energy.
exactly because he doesn't have that that straight up like burst of energy like when
downhill back.
Like just boom, like he doesn't look like he could just cut and just go for the races like a greyhound type shit, you know what I mean? Like I'm out. But he does have that strong ability. You know what he reminds me of? Almost like a little bit like an Ahmad Bradshaw that could really catch the ball.
He's good, really good hands. He has receiver hands. Let's be honest.
Yo, like you not lying. I was like really impressed, and I think that's gonna be a big portion because, like when I saw him, I'm still not big on Singletary. I'm gonna keep it a buck, but then again, I think about it as long as this line can open up a decent hole, even the worst of running backs can get a 7-8 yard, run through. We don't need that Saquon Barkley to have because typically we didn't really ever have it. We had a Tiki, we had, and then we had like Saquon. We had a Ma Bradshaw and the Brandon Jacobs. Those guys would just run you down and wear you the fuck out, and that's the type of, run schemes that the Giants always had. And, and that's that toughness. That's that New York Giants toughness. That okay, I'm gonna need at least 2 linebackers to to basically take me down or do what I got to do. But that's gonna be good. But I'm not really too big on Dable Singletary. We're gonna have to see what he really does and see how this line pans out because I think that was definitely a big improvement on how they shifted things around. I think Tyron's gonna be somebody who's just gonna make plays. They're gonna probably run him in different type of packages. And Eric Gay, hopefully he does something.
You said Eric Gay?
I mean, yeah, right.
Eric Gray.
Eric Gray, yeah, my bad.
What's on your mind, my man?
Oh shit, yo, I'm taking a shot for that.
Pause. Yeah, let's take a shot for that shit. Hold up.
Oh man.
Yo, I'm gonna have to do some crafty editing because I got lights dropping in the lab. You having reception problems. People screaming in my crib.
That's it. Yo, they're trying to stop us, bro.
They're trying to stop us.
They can't hold me
now. Here?
Yeah.
Goofy ass motherfucker.
Word, man. But Eric Gray, like Eric Gray's quick, man. I want to see him do some more. I want to see him get some real. Yeah, man. Shot for him. Let's go. I want to see him actually get some, some pigskin and try to do what you could do other than the special teams. That's basically what they've been utilizing him for. But let's see what happens. Like if we could go down the schedule, man, it's gonna be tough. But if we could win at least like 9 games, because the Cowboys I think got a little bit worse. The Eagles are still gonna be the Eagles. But if we could get to the wild card. You never know, man. If we can win those 9-10 games, last time we won 9 games. I think we won 9 games twice. Well, we won 9 games one year, the Super Bowl, and then the other year we went to the Super. I think we won 10 games. So, it just goes to show, man. It's proof in the pudding. We don't have to win 12, 13 games.
No, I agree, and I'm just looking at Singletary stats. He's at 4.2 yards per carry, 898 yards last year. Those are decent stats, man. 30 receptions. What do you have? How many touchdowns do you have? 4 TDs, not great. I don't know. I didn't watch a ton of him last year, but 4.5, 5, really good. I mean, 4.5, 5, average for a back. So he's serviceable, man. I listen. I think, like I said, combine everybody because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back to running back by committee, kind of like what a lot of the league does. You don't see the whole. You don't see a lot of Saquons and a lot of I keep forgetting this dude's name. Christian McCaffrey's and you know Tony Pollard's. He's kind of falling off a little bit.
Yeah.
You know who else are the dynamic
like Derrick Henry and
Derrick Henry.
Miles Sanders, and then you got what's the dude on the Raiders? Was on the Raiders. Damn, what's his name?
My brain is mush today.
Yeah, but because he was holding out too. And then he ended up going back.
Yeah, well, he was holding out with Saquon and all of them. Not Tony Pollard. Jesus Christ. Let me look this. Pardon me. I'll get back to you guys on that shit. But yeah, definitely though. But I think that's gonna be a good look for the Giants. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think about the defense? I thought the defense was good last year. I was impressed with the defense. I think obviously the addition of Brian Burns only makes us more stout, more formidable. Thibodeau coming back, O'Keefe. I thought he was fantastic in the holy shit in the
the OTAs or
no the fucking linebacker core. I thought he was fantastic in the linebacker core. McFadden, Isaiah Simmons, a hybrid between safety and linebacker. But you're gonna have Brian Burns, and Thibodeau rushing off those edges, man. I think Thibodeau, he took a lot of shit last year, you know what I'm saying? And part of it was deserved, and part of it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He's still young, he's still developing, he's getting stronger, his legs are getting stronger. But Brian Burns, phenomenal edge rusher. You're gonna have Tyler. We bring, Tyler Newman's the rookie. I'm big on him. We pick up Jalen Mills. Pinnock is back. We lost obviously X-Man. We got Deontay Banks. We picked up who's that guy we picked up from what's this guy name? Oh, Trey Herndon.
Yeah,
he's from Jacksonville. We got Trey Herndon. Yeah. Now a lot of people thought that they were gonna take that Darren Waller money and go out and get like a high powered, like a premier fucking corner,
right? Yeah.
I like the Trey Herndon movement. You had guys like Stephon Gilmore out there who him and Trayvon Diggs, shared the backfield for so long. That was a name that kept coming up. I wouldn't have minded that, but I think you want a guy that you want a depth guy. You don't want to go break the bank. We have other things to do, but you mentioned Cordell Flott before, so between Cordell, Deontay Banks, and that backfield, listen, you got a lot of guys in the NFC East, man, that you're gonna have to go up against, man. So Deontay Banks is second year, Cordell Flott, rookie. The secondary inexperience. What do you think about the secondary and pretty much the defense overall on the Giants?
I think I think last year they were the only exciting thing to actually see. Like we kind of assumed what was going to happen. They kept, like I said, I'll repeat myself again. They kept us in the games. But the Giants the Giants organization has always been a defensive team, and I think they're just only going to improve. And the thing I really like is the motivation from Thibodeau, man. Like he's over here talking about he wants to chase, an NFL sack record, and he might be able to do that with Burns on that rushing, you can't double team everybody. Somebody's gonna come through the middle, and that's why I'm kind of anxious to see what Bowen does, because I know what you said with Shane Bowen, and I know they don't have too much of the same style, but they do both run the 3-4 package. That's why it's almost like a seamless fix. They might not be both, aggressive. Shane Bowen might not be as aggressive at wing, but that package coming in there running the same system. It's not like it's a total change where they're like, damn, bro, now I'm running. We're used to running 3-4. Now we're running 4-3 or running, like doing all these nickels and dime packages. We're gonna do the same shit, but we're gonna have two premier edge rushers now that we know can get the job done, And I might just rush a linebacker in real quick to do what he got to do. I trust my people who are going to be my safeties and my corners to hold down whoever they got to hold down, because there is a lot of premier wide receivers, especially in the NFC East alone. You know, you got Devontae Smith, you got fucking you got Brown. You know, you got the Cowboys have like fucking what's his name?
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb, and then I think Terry McLaurin and
Terry McLaurin in DC.
Yeah, like so.
And they drafted someone else too. I forget who it was, a rookie. Yeah, but yeah, definitely. There's some tough receivers, and especially them Philly receivers, man. Like Philly and Cowboys receivers. And wait, who? Let me see something. What did the Cowboys pick up a receiver? Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Cowboys. I think Cowboys. Did they pick up a receiver? Brandon. Yeah. Oh, we forgot to mention Brandon Cooks, obviously.
Brandon Cooks.
They got a decent receiving core, but I think. Yeah, I think.
They picked a one wide receiver in the 6th round, Ryan Flournoy.
Yeah. I know they picked up a receiver. We'll see how he develops. We'll see how he develops. This was a deep wide receiver draft. Not to stay in the Giants too long. But I'm excited. I think we're gonna be okay. I like the 3-4 defense. I like them linebackers, rushing off the edges as opposed to the 4-3 where the defensive ends kind of do that. So we'll see, man. We'll Josh Jacobs. It just came to my head. Josh Jacobs. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, but
I was gonna take a shot for fucking.
Yeah, let's take a shot for fucking my memory.
Yeah, take a shot for Cash's memory, fellas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking through the list. You got Aaron Jones, Saquon.
You got Travis Etienne.
Yeah, Austin Eckler. Yo, we got mad dude. Yeah. Nick Chubb.
Austin Eckler. Yo, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon.
Yeah, Joe Mixon. Yo, it's crazy, man. But yeah, listen, man. New York Giants, let's go, man. We'll see. I'm gonna go between. I'm going. You know what? I'm going 8. I'm going between 8 and 10 wins, bro. 8 on the low side, 10 on the high side. 11 if I'm ambitious. But if we get 10 wins next year, I sign for that.
Yeah, I'm going straight up. I think we get at least 9 wins. Like that, I'm going straight 9.
9 and 8.
Do 9. I think we do 9 and 8. I think we
9 and 8.
Yeah. I think we do 9 and 8. And I think that'll be good. But I think we do a ball out 9. I think it's a 9 and 8 where it's like
exciting.
I don't think it's gonna be like, damn, those 8 games we lost was fucking by like 90 points. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think it's gonna be a very exciting season. I think the adjustments that they did, they're sick of it. They're sick of it. They're getting fed up. And if Daniel Jones doesn't cut it this year and improve and do what he got, handle his fucking business. We've dealt with bad Eli Manning seasons, but he came right back and did what he had to do. He won us some championships. We need Daniel Jones to do that, but go fucking further, man. Don't just make it to the threshold and be like, yo, I'm here. Nah, get to the threshold, walk through the door, break the fucking hinges off of it, and carry the door to the fucking finish line. That's what we need.
Yeah, training camp, mini training camp and OTAs, everyone looks good. We'll see. We'll get more in depth as the year goes on. I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to dig too deep because this is a long summer. But let's transition it to the Knicks. Yo, in a perfect world. Perfect world. That's the theme for today. You see the lower third, right? Yeah, what do the Knicks look like to you next year?
I think, to be honest, I wouldn't even say a perfect world. I think the Knicks will be battling for the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Okay. I think we're the only team fully healthy. In a perfect world, we'll be fully healthy. In a perfect world, I'm on
my Denzel right now. All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
In a perfect world, OG doesn't get hurt. In a perfect world, we keep Hartenstein. In a perfect world, Randall doesn't get hurt on a freak ass fucking accident.
Okay,
in a perfect world, we're gonna win at least 60 to 65 games in a perfect world in this upcoming season.
Perfect world. Yeah. What does the team look like lineup wise in a perfect world?
Me and you have been saying it. In a perfect world.
Okay. All right. Okay.
yo, in a perfect world, it's either two scenarios. It's either we run it all the way the fuck back, or in a perfect world, we bring in either Paul George or DeMar DeRozan in a perfect world. And then that lineup would be Brunson, Paul George, OG, Randall, Hartenstein.
Whew. You're talking a perfect realistic world.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's a perfect world because think about it.
Perfect world, we're bringing Devin Booker. We're talking about a perfectly realistic world. Okay, all right.
Yeah. I like to think realistically, but to be honest, I don't even think we're gonna get Paul George neither. I know the Sixers is gonna be hounding that.
I said Paul George. I thought I said Devin Booker. I meant to say Devin Booker. Sorry.
No, you said Devin Booker, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, but like I say Paul George because we need that. Booker would be great. It'll be awesome, but I don't know, for some reason.
I don't want to get paid though. We're not extending Paul George, bro.
We're not gonna get him either. We're not getting both of those guys. In a perfect world, we get fucking Kevin Durant and LeBron James and fucking fucking 2004 Shaquille O'Neal on the Lakers or some shit like that. We need to send him, man. Isaiah Hartenstein needs to get paid, and I think he's gonna come back.
You think he's coming back?
I think he's coming back. I think he's comfortable here. I think Mitchell Robinson is comfortable coming off the bench. If anything, he's either going to get traded or he's going to have to understand he has to come off the bench. And I think he already dealt with the realization just last season. Just season that was just finished. He came off saying, "Yo, this is the role I'm probably going to have to play. This is what I'm going to have to do, regardless if it's on the Knicks or the next team I go to. This is who I am. I'm gonna have to be that role player coming off the bench, probably, and that's what it is, and it kind of sucks because, we talked about Hartenstein. We know that he's not that super big threat, in the down low paint when it comes to some of these premier centers, that he's gonna be facing when the time gets going, when it's crunch time and we need you most, and you're playing these teams that, that are gonna be there like Joker and Giannis and you know what I mean, and Porzingis and Bede, we're gonna need him. Like he can match up okay with some of them, but there's gonna be some shit that's gonna have to, he's not gonna be that main stud guy. He's not that Patrick Ewing that could just shut it down. But he does have his traits. He does have his skill set. He can pass the ball. He has that little floater from that little free throw line. He has that vision. He does great screens from time to time. He knows who to get open so people can go to the wings. It's going to be very interesting to see these guys play one whole season together in a perfect world, just healthy.
Yo, I'm listening to everyone's talking about the Hoops Hype podcast the other day, ran by Michael Scotto. He had Ian Begley on it and Stephon Bondi of the New York Post, Ian Begley of SNY, very informative Knicks insiders, sports insiders, definitely Knicks insiders. They talked about everything from Tom Thibodeau's contract to OG Anunoby's, deal. Everyone seems to think it's a lock. OG's coming back, but there's a little bit of cracks in the armor. People thinking maybe it's possible another team could sneak in there and do it. Talking about obviously, I say our Hartenstein's contract situation, Bogdanovich's, all key pieces in what we do. Precious Achua. Really, really great podcast. When the season ended, we were very cocky. Like, come on, we signed an OG. Come on, OG's coming back. Because of the CAA affiliation, Leon Rose's son being, now that we're finding out, he's not the main agent for OG, but he is a agent on that team. It's all
smoke and mirrors,
brother. You know what I'm saying? It's all crafty PR moves to make shit look like there was no tampering going on. And hey, I get it. I'm a Knicks fan. But the thought on OG Anunoby will return to the Knicks. Listen, the question is, how much is he going to return for, right? There are executives around the league. If you look around the league, you hear executives talk. The floor, now check this out. The floor for his contract appears to be $35 million, and the ceiling is a max contract, right?
Mhm.
Couple of monkey wrenches could be thrown in there, right?
Mhm.
Philly, we played them in the playoffs. Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre might be out of there, right? Joel Embiid, obviously, but they are looking for a 3-and-D guy, right? Who's a 3-and-D guy? OG Anunoby. Who's probably the best 3-and-D guy possibly available on the market, right? It's probably Paul George, right? But
It's between Paul George and OG.
right, so you've seen Paul George way better offensively than OG. Although
Yeah.
I think OG is getting better, but you see Paul George kind of flirting around with Embiid in the finals and all that. That would I really hope that doesn't happen because Paul George, Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey is scary, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like you see the Celtics, they look phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? They're better than I thought. You know what I'm saying? They put in work this year. I don't think Paul George will leave the Clippers, but let's entertain this for a minute. Paul George goes to the Sixers. We get OG. We're already gonna have OG Anunoby, but OG Anunoby on a lower side of 35 million, right? Let's say Paul George. No, I'm sorry. Paul George doesn't go to the Sixers. He goes back to the Clippers. Then there's some negotiation room, and maybe we don't get killed. But let's say Paul George goes to the Sixers. We're gonna have to break the bank for OG, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to break the bank. Oklahoma City's another team I heard that's creeping in and out of things. Heard they're looking at OG. Heard they're looking at Hartenstein. Sam Presti. The only advantage we have, I'm hearing, is that Sam Presti and those guys don't really want to do long-term contracts. If we lose OG Anunoby, brother, that's seriously bad because of what we gave up from. I believe they're already an agreement in place, and it's the smoke and mirrors. But what when you're looking around at the situation, I'm a little drunk, so I'm getting kind of confused. Paul George to the Clippers, Paul George to the Sixers, whatever. What do you think is going to happen with OG? And is he 100% a Knick next year?
I think he's coming back. I think they're all coming back. I think they
all of them. Who's all of them?
Hartenstein, OG. Bogdan. I think Bogdan is up in the air.
Bogdan's coming back. They're going to guarantee his contract because he is an expiring contract. So of course they're going to guarantee his contract. We know Bogdan's coming back for sure because he's going to be using it for a trade chip, kind of like Fournier, but he's better than Fournier. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, but he's not going to be. You know what I mean? But I don't mean he's going to be here like for the whole year.
No, but he's definitely getting his contract guaranteed.
Yeah. But
they're gonna guarantee his contract. There's a team option on him.
I think they're all coming back. I think our bench is gonna look like what it should have been looking like. I think Josh Hart or DiVincenzo are gonna be coming off the bench. I think that's what we need. We need DiVincenzo.
Josh Hart and DiVincenzo.
Well, that's we're talking about in a perfect world if we get somebody else. Now, if everybody comes back, obviously, I would prefer DiVincenzo coming off the bench. We need that scoring. We need that scoring on the second team, and then we can have Josh Hart start with Jalen Brunson and what I mean. Then we have OG Randall and then Hartenstein. We're gonna be chilling there, and then the second group will come in with Precious, and then we're gonna have we can have Miles McBride come in. We're gonna have people who can.
We don't know if these guys are gonna be chips and trade. We don't know what's gonna happen though, but. You're very confident Hartenstein's coming back. Tell me why you're so confident Hartenstein's coming back because, word around the league is the Knicks can offer him 4 years for $72 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they can't go higher than that because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not great with this. I'm not a salary cap guy. I'm not great with this, but I think they have his early bird rights, so they can't really go over than that. You're hearing, you're hearing Sam Presti and Oklahoma City. They're coming off that deep playoff run, talking about maybe possibly 50 for 25 per year. Again, they're not trying to do long-term contracts. If you're Isaiah Hartenstein, do you take the 50 million for 25 per year? Or do you take the 4 for 72 more guaranteed years and possibly you could opt out at the end of that contract if you're performing? I'm not sure Isaiah Hartenstein stays in the Knicks next year. That I'm not sure of. I want him to. I think he will, but I'm not 100% sure. What about you?
I think he's coming back. I think he likes it here. Like we seen how excited
Show
he
me the
is.
money,
Like
baby.
this
Jerry
is like,
Maguire.
no, yeah, of course, but like, yo, I'm thinking of a perfect world. People want to win. Like the Knicks have shown and improved that they can win with a depleted ass team. I'm thinking these guys are gonna be in the locker room like, yo, my guys, if we were at 100%, we're gonna fuck this league up. And that's what they're gonna be able to do. That's what they can do. And if I'm a player and I know I can still get a bag and still know I still have a way to get a chip, like what's better than fucking helping the New York Knicks get to where they need to be in one of the toughest probably divisions against one of the best teams that probably, the Celtics ain't no slouches, and we got the Sixers, we got the Bucks to worry about. We got some teams that we're gonna have to surpass. We got the Pacers that we need to stomp all over. Like I think they need to run it back. I think sometimes you gotta put your fucking pride aside. Get your dollars because he's gonna get his money if he stays here for 2 years, and he's still showing it. He's still improving. He's still getting better. All right, fuck it. Didn't work out. I could go somewhere else, and then from there I get my bag and whatever. At that point, I'm just hoping I just keep making more money because I don't want to win a chip. I think this team right now, the Knicks, they look like they like to win. They look like they feed off of that shit.
Yeah,
they
but you're acting like OKC don't win.
No, they do. But I'm thinking that. But like, would you want to switch and move to a whole nother team if just because they're paying you maybe a few more million? Like, shit, man, fuck it.
That's more than a few.
Well,
That's
no, but like I would still take the bag here and run it back.
Take the guaranteed years. Now you're right. It's all about if he likes where he is. Now, let me ask you this: if he walked out the door, how would you feel about that? What's the contingency plan? I'm gonna say something, and people probably not gonna like what I say. They're gonna look at it because every time you challenge something or think outside the box, they look at it as you're hating. I'm not hating. I like iHeart. I like iHeart a lot. I like Mitch too. I think all the playing field level, all things being equal, I think Mitch is probably more valuable, but he's more injury prone. And Isaiah Hartenstein's a little injury prone too. But in terms of Hartenstein, I looked at him in that 76ers series, and that concerned me, my brother. Joel Embiid was eating his food, Bree. Eating his food. He's undersized for a center. Yes, does he do good things? He has that little floater. Gets a lot of big time offensive rebounds. He's a grit guy. He's a tough guy. Dives for loose balls. He's a New York guy for sure. For sure. He's a New York guy. You know what I'm saying? But if he walks out the door, is that the worst thing in the world? I'm not sure, man. I don't know. I think obviously Mitch gets hurt a lot, but we'd have to go in the market and look for a center. I'm looking at some of the centers who are available right now. You got Valanciunas, big strong dude. Speedy Claxton. I mean Nicholas Claxton. Yeah, Speedy Claxton. He's probably gonna wind up going back to the Nets, I would think. You got Valanciunas. Just think about somebody with like Andre Drummond, big wide body, pause, very good rebounder. So you get Jalen Smith from Indiana. You can get some serviceable guys in here, man. Precious Achiuwa is a restricted free agent. Obviously, he's on our team. But you can get some serviceable guys in here. Drew Eubanks.
Yeah, but think about it. You don't think if you have
Mason Plumlee, big guy, kind of burly, kind of,
Yeah, Plumlee, I wouldn't mind. Then I heard, aren't they trying to go after this kid from Purdue? Like he's like 7'4" or some shit like that.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan. I don't want DeAndre, but yeah, there's some guys on the team. So it's interesting. I mean, there's some guys in the league, but it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the Knicks handle the iHeart thing, how he handles it. I do think when it's all said and done, he'll be back. I'm 1,000% sure, 999% sure. OG's coming back. Maybe 80% Hartenstein's coming back. And then we got to worry about Precious. Precious was big for us too, as a backup center / power forward. Then we got to worry about maybe going out and signing somebody to back up OG. What else do we need if you're a Knicks fan? What's one of the all right, so the two most things we need in a Knicks uniform next year are two glaring, gaping deficiencies, in my opinion. was a backup ball handler. Because as much as I love Miles McBride, he's not that. A guy to come in there and just run the fucking offense when Brunson needs breathers, because Brunson was playing way too many minutes last year. And then I think we need a backup, 3 and D guy, or just a D guy, to back up OG, because OG historically doesn't, misses 20 games a season.
Yeah.
Around, right? So that brings me to, so where we're gonna get that, I'm not sure. I'm hearing Chris Paul. What do you think about Chris Paul in the Knicks in the backup role to Brunson? You like that?
I wouldn't mind it, but then
I kind of wouldn't mind that either. I know Chris Paul wants the bag and everything, but I kind of wouldn't mind. I remember Chris Paul going to different teams, going to OKC, and a whole bunch of different teams, Houston, and kind of being a mentor to some of these younger guys. I remember that kind of he's one of the reasons actually that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander improved. If you remember, he went to OKC and he kind of mentored him, and then you saw the progression with SGA. But I definitely wouldn't mind Chris Paul here. But we need a ball handler in a perfect world. In a perfect world, I would love to get DeMar DeRozan. But listen, we're gonna see what happens. I know we have to do something. I think we run it back. I think the core guys stay, and then we just add little pieces. Last thing before we get out of here, they got 2 draft picks coming up in the first round and one in the second round this year. What do you see the Knicks doing with these draft picks? I have my own theory. What do you see?
I think they go for another center/power forward, and I think they go for another small forward. I think that's something that we really need, But they've been also drafting pretty well for shooting guards. So I think that's those are the 3 key pieces I think we need right now.
And you think they address that in the draft?
Well, they might not, depending on what their intentions are. I think we just have to wait and see what ends up happening, because we could always trade those 2 picks. I think we have 25 and 26 or 24 and 25 or something like that. We're right around that cusp of the area, so we could always trade that and bundle something up for like a Mitchell Robinson to get what we need. But if we keep,
you can't bundle the Mitch till we find out what's up with iHeart though.
That's what I'm saying. So I think at this point, clock is ticking. I think we need to see what they're doing. But if they're gonna draft, I think those are the type of pieces that they're gonna have to pick up, because we can't depend on Jericho Sims. We can't depend on Jeffries. Like these are guys. We can't depend on Topping. We already gave one up. We
got the young Topping, but I'm kind of like the consensus is Ian Begley on the Hoops High podcast with Michael Scotto basically said that he predicted that the Knicks make at least 1 or 2 of their draft picks. I'm gonna say they draft one person, and I'm gonna say I don't think they're gonna get a star, but obviously they would try to wheel and deal and package to get a star. But let's just say they can't secure a star, which I don't think they will be able to. I think they use 1 draft pick, right? And keep in mind, Tibbs don't like to play rookies, right? And we have a veteran team right now. But I think they'll draft 1 guy, and I think they take the other pick, because it's 24 and 25, right? It's 25 and 26. They're right back to back in that late first round. Then they got a second pick. I think they take that, package that, and kick the can down the fucking road. You know what I'm saying? Because Knicks is all about Leon Rose. What we do know about Leon Rose, he's been all about flexibility and draft assets, draft capital, right? He's gonna land a star, but we don't know when that star is gonna be available, and we don't know what star he's really looking at. You know what I mean? So when that guy does become available, because we know who's technically available, but we don't know the disgruntled guy who goes, fuck that, I want out of here. You know what? I want to go to the Knicks. They look good this year. You know what I mean? We don't. So he's, that saying, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I think Leon Rose is on some stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So what I'm saying is not anything like, I'm not like a genius and nothing. This is what everyone's saying. I just happen to agree. I think they're going to repackage that and trade those for future picks and keep the draft assets and, draft capital, so to speak, in the bank. But I'm hearing about this kid. I don't know if you read about it. The Knicks have been linked to Virginia forward Ryan Dunn, who is considered the best defender in the draft, and that's the latest ESPN mock draft. I can see that. A defensive guy coming in. What do we just say? We need a backup for OG, right? Defensively, because he misses a lot of games. Historically, he missed a lot of games. So I could definitely see that. They say they might get him with the 25th pick. That's like a Tibbs kind of guy as well. We know Tibbs is a defensive-minded coach. So I could see them doing that, man. Maybe we watch the draft and the Knicks package up a bunch of draft picks and Mitchell Robinson and Bogdan's contract, and maybe they throw in Julius Randle and maybe they get a big fish. But chances are it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Chances are we're gonna run it back with who we got.
I agree. I think that's our best bet, man. Our starting lineup is complete. We just need a couple of people. We need everybody to stay healthy, a couple of more role players, and just do what we got to do and keep playing, man. Yo, we
Drunk Sports Talk, baby.
Yo, that's what you gotta do. Is fucking take a shot, man.
Take a motherfucking shot. If you watching right now, take a shot. If you're in your cubicle, or if you're in your fucking, if you're in the fucking janitor closet, you just finished fucking sweeping the floor. If you're, you know what I'm saying, wherever you at. If you're a CEO and on a yacht, getting top right now, take a shot, because you know what I'm saying. We appeal to everybody. We ain't goofy ass CP and all this goofy shit. You know what I'm saying?
We real out here, yo. We the true voice of the streets. I already heard
the voice
Jake
of the streets, and we coming, and we coming, my brother. We are coming. You can't stop us. I know all the back channel shit you guys are doing to try to stop us. It ain't gonna work, brother. We not going any fucking way. Get used to us. Break bread with us. I'm all with it. You feel what I'm saying? Break bread with us, but get down or lay down. I promise you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Drug Sports Talk. You already know what it is. You want to take us out of here with anything, or you good?
Woo, that was a good shot.
Yeah, that shit went down low. Pause. But yo, we will see you next week. Oh, yo, shout out to King. Adrian Bump Johnson, Adrian Bump Jones. Excuse me. That's how drunk I am. We got the boxing shit popping back again. Q will be eventually joining the show in a couple of weeks when we get the scheduling right. We will have a special guest tomorrow night. Fred Hawthorne will be back on Drunk Sports Boxing tomorrow night, talking Devin Haney, the Devin Haney Sandor Martin purse bid. Eddie Hearn not bidding on it. Top Rank securing it, and possibly going up to 140 to fight Barrios. We got a lot of good shit going on. The views are back up. The subs are jumping back up. You already know we are the voice of the streets. Holla at your boy.
Peace.
Peace.